I saw your engagement to Donna on all your social media platform. You didn't have to post it for the world to see. What if he changes his mind?
He won't. Okay, I understand the situation. Unfortunately, his ex-fiancée died in a car accident. Too bad. She's no longer in his life, and here I am. I am available. And I'm making a bad mistake.
Naomi, the fact that she's dead is even the reason you shouldn't marry him. I mean, this guy's not over her yet.
That is the reason why I need to be beside him 24/7. He does not need any space to breathe. Ifoma, he needs me around. I'm his best friend.
I see this ending in tears.
And I have already seen it ending in praise a long time ago.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's your favorite girl talk repression. Today guys, I bring you another new movie. Now the name of this movie is called Love Beyond Words. Okay, and this movie is starring Ebube Nwagbo, Daniel Etim, Linda Osofo, alongside other amazing actors, actresses, and the entire cast and crew. Now, besties, male and female besties, you guys are not beating the accusation. The accusation is never going to be beaten because the more we see movies like this, the more we realize that these things keep on happening. So the truth is, you guys are not going to beat this accusation. Now, this movie starts with an amazing young man who has his whole life figured out. He has his whole life planned. Okay. He meets this beautiful young lady in a restaurant. And, it was so beautiful to see a young woman telling a guy, "Oh, I'm not going to give you my number, but if eventually we meet again, I'll give you my number." That is so something I would totally say. I see myself totally saying something like this. So, and it happens that eventually he meets her again. But this time, him meeting her, he finds out that she's like an army officer, and they exchange numbers. They decide to go out on dates. They like themselves, and like he decides, or both of them, because it's a mutual thing, decide to date themselves. Now, by the side, he has a best friend. Daniel Etim has a best friend who turns out to be Linda Osofo in the movie. Now, she has been his friend for the longest time. They've known each other since practically they were in primary school. So they've been best friends for a while. Now, the thing with this thing, best friend, especially when it's a male and female, most people believe that one person is definitely in love with the other person. Just that whoever it is between both of them are not saying it. And truth be told, most times it's actually like that. Truth be told, because there are several situations I've seen that when there is a male and a female bestie, one of the other is in love with another person. So that's what totally happens here. It turns out that Linda Osofo has been in love with Daniel Etim for the longest, but obviously she didn't say anything. She just kept quiet, and eventually he meets somebody who he's in love with, who ends up being Ebube, and he's taken by her. He loves everything about her. He practically loves the air that she breathes. He dotes on her, and it's so beautiful to see. Now, you would think that as she has realized that, okay, he's in love with somebody else, she would move on. I feel like she was pretending that she had moved on, but definitely she had not moved on. She still had a thing for him. Now, on the other hand, Ebube was seeing her as, "Oh, this is my boyfriend's friend," and she even tells her, "Don't worry. Since you're an orphan, you don't have a sibling. I would be your sister. I would be your friend. Like, let's just click and everything." Now, Daniel proposes to Ebube, and during the timeline, Ebube, obviously, she's in the army, so she's called forth that they have like a job they are meant to do, and she has to leave for 6 months. Now, in the course of that 6 months trip, Ebube suddenly wasn't keeping in touch, and Ebube's sister comes up one day and tells Daniel that Ebube is dead and gone. Obviously, Daniel falls into depression. He wasn't having it. He wasn't taking it. Daniel started drinking. He started drinking as like a coping mechanism. Now, Linda, on the other hand, instead of like trying to genuinely console her friend, Linda saw this as an opportunity. As Ebube was out of the picture, she saw it as an opportunity to enter into Daniel's life. So she was like a shoulder to cry on and the whatever. She tried as much as possible to like be in Daniel's life during that period. There was even a scene whereby they did the act, but obviously, when man no like you, like you're just wasting your time. Now, Daniel goes out on a particular day to get some groceries in the store, and he sees a colleague of Ebube, and the colleague was like, "Oh, um, greet Ebube for me." And Daniel was like, "What are you talking about? Ebube is dead." And he was like, "No, that he saw Ebube in the house like 4 days ago or a few days ago." And Daniel was like, "What is going on?" So he heads over to Ebube's house and sees Ebube. Now, the reason why Ebube's sister told Daniel that Ebube was dead was because for whatever mission they went on in the army, Ebube became crippled. Yeah. She lost the use of both her legs. So she didn't want Daniel to see her in that state. So instead she told her sister to tell Daniel that she was dead. And when Daniel saw her, he was filled with so much emotion. First of all, he was angry, as any normal person would be. He was angry, but when he sat down to think about it, he was like, the anger is not enough. Like, he loves this girl and he doesn't mind if she is crippled or not. Now, another thing I loved about this movie was Daniel's mom. I love the fact that she was so supportive. There are some women that your wife to be has lost the function of her legs. No way will you marry a cripple. But she cared about how her son felt. She put her son's feelings and the love she shared with Ebube during the short period of time before any other thing. And it was beautiful to see. Now, on the part of Linda, Linda had finally heard that Ibube was alive. Daniel had told her, "Oh, I cannot have anything to do with you. I don't care if Ibube is crippled. Ibube is the only light that I see." And of course, she was pissed. She wasn't having it. And she went over to Ebube's house. And that was where Ebube actually confronted her and told her, "Yeah, I thought you were going to be my friend. I thought you were going to be my sister. But when you heard I was dead, I heard you were very happy that I was dead. You were like moving on my man and everything." And it's how she brought a knife and wanted to kill Ebube. And I looked at that and I was like, "Nah, you cannot be serious." So, besties, you guys are not beating this allegation anytime soon. This is the part where I say, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Subscription is totally and will always be free. Okay. And watch over for the next one. Bye.